Title: The Tale of Two Best Friends Who Learned to Love Again. In the heart of a small village nestled between rolling hills and lush forests, there lived two best friends, Kofi and Akoto. From a young age, they were inseparable, sharing dreams, laughter, and every adventure that life had to offer. The villagers often said that the bond between Kofi and Akoto was as strong as the ancient oak that stood in the village square. But as time passed, a shadow fell on their friendship. A misunderstanding grew into a quarrel, and before long, the once unbreakable bond was shattered. Kofi and Akoto found themselves at odds, their hearts filled with resentment and anger. The village, too, felt the strain of their rift, for the friendship of Kofi and Akoto had been a source of joy and inspiration for all. Trouble began with a simple miscommunication. Kofi had promised to help Akoto build a new roof for his hut. But on the agreed day, Kofi was nowhere to be found. Feeling abandoned and hurt, Akoto began to harbor feelings of betrayal. Little did he know, Kofi had been called away to tend to his ailing grandmother in a neighboring village, a fact he had forgotten to relay to Akoto in his haste. Days turned weeks, and weeks into months. The once vibrant conversations turned to cold stares and harsh words. The village elders, wise and observant, saw the pain in both their eyes and knew something had to be done to heal the rift. One bright morning, the village chief called a meeting. He proposed a challenge, one that required Kofi and Akoto to work together. The annual village festival was approaching, and the chief announced that Kofi and Akoto would be responsible for organizing it. The villagers held their breath, waiting to see how the two former friends would react. Reluctantly, Kofi and Akoto accepted the challenge. They knew they had no choice but to put aside their differences for the sake of the village. Their first task was to plan the traditional dance performance, which required coordination and harmony. As they started working, initial tension was palpable. They disagreed on almost everything, from the choice of dances to the rhythm of the drums. One evening, as the sun began to set, Akoto sat by the river, lost. He remembered the times when he and Kofi would sit by the same river, sharing their dreams and secrets. A pang of regret washed over him. He missed his friend. Meanwhile, Kofi was at his hut, staring at an old photograph of the two of them. He, too, felt a deep sense of loss and wished things could be different. The breakthrough came unexpectedly. While rehearsing the dance, a young boy tripped and fell. Without thinking, both Kofi and Akoto rushed to help him. Their eyes met, and in that moment, they both realized how much they missed each other. It was as if the years of anger and misunderstanding melted away, leaving only the memories of their deep bond. Night, they sat by the fire, talking for hours. Kofi explained how he had been called away unexpectedly and regretted not informing Akoto. Akoto shared how he had felt abandoned and hurt. They apologized to each other, tears of regret mingling with those of relief. With their hearts lighter, they resumed their work with renewed vigor. The village festival turned out to be the best one in years. The dance performance was a resounding success, with Akoto leading the way, their movements perfectly in sync. The villagers cheered, not just for the festival, but for the rekindled friendship that had once again brought joy to their community. As the festival drew to a close, the village chief gathered everyone around the ancient oak. He spoke of the power of forgiveness and the importance of understanding. He praised Kofi and Akoto for their courage in overcoming their differences and reminded everyone that true friendship can withstand even the toughest trials. From that day on, Kofi and Akoto were inseparable once more. They learned to communicate better and to never let misunderstandings fester. Their friendship became even stronger, serving as a beacon of hope and resilience for the entire village.